Welcome to Coming At You from Triple M Ravenswood Raceway for this Boxing Day extravaganza. Stewie Bond, a great challenge brought to us by Southside Engine Centre. Gary Densham from California up against Alan Dobson from Western Australia.
Well, Dobbo and the team from the Alan Green Racing Green Machine Nitro Funny Car team are really going to put their best foot forward tonight. It's their first chance at serious competition, and they're going to be racing the car that finished number 9 in the USA in the NHRA. A fantastic competitor, Gary Densham from California, a school teacher by trade and a person who is not too proud to teach these West Australians all about Nitro Funny Cars. I would think within 12 months we'll see the West Australian guys leading Australia from the information that Gary Densham has given them about their Nitro team.
Big action today here at Ravenswood. Let's go with Super Comp. Round 1 for Super Comp. Peter Hamilton on the track. A VG Statesman running a big block Chevy, a 468 cubic inch Chev on board this car. And Stuart up alongside him, George Saparovich.
Young fella in the blue Nissan has been performing very, very well. Holds a national record now with his car in A-Gas. The team came together about 2 seasons ago. Bob Campbell is the mentor of the team. It's Campbell's ex-pro stock car, and Saparovich has gone from strength to strength. Both cars racing as A-Gases, so we'll see a heads-up, same-time start on this race.
Both vehicles locked away. The tree counts down. Hamilton comes out quick. So too Saparovich. Saparovich has got the better of him at half-strip distance and goes around the outside. A big, strong top-end pass, and Saparovich gets there. An 8:51 at 2:31 Ks.
Well, the Bob Campbell racing engine power gave him the luxury of being able to roll off at the top end and go through safe. Terry Stacey from Rotary Mazda, a 13B turbocharged Rotary in his double R gasser. This car holds the national record for speed over the quarter mile from a Rotary-powered vehicle. His competition will be Peter Townsend.
Pete Townsend and Robbie Woodcock putting this car together. A beautifully looking prepared rear-engine dragster running a Ford 355. And these guys have been good. Stacey, a Rotary 80 on board the little RX-7.
2 very different cars, both running in Super Comp. Watch them closely as they leave the start line. The Mazda Rotary gets the head start on the handicap. The dragster would usually have him at half track, but it looks like Townsend is going to make it a close finish. And the win goes to Stacey with a 9.62, just beating an 8.71 from the dragster.
Rob DeManiel, a beautifully prepared Calais, running a Chevy engine on board this car, and these guys have been to the eastern states and have been very, very successful.
They've really been chasing power with this car. They're starting to find the power. Now they need to retune the chassis on the vehicle, make sure that the vehicle leaves the start line in a controlled manner. Their competition will be Errol Quartermain, a Ford turbocharged powered Tirana.
Both cars locked away, ready to go.
This is DeMamiel earlier today showing us the enormous power his new Buick-headed Chevy has. The car lifting and roaring towards the concrete rail, and it was only DeMamiel's reactions that saved a big problem for his crew.
Rob DeMamiel comes out first. Errol Quartermain on the chase. DeMamiel looks like he's got him with a big hole shot. Errol Quartermain starting to come back, not much in it at the top end. DeMamiel gets there with an 8.86 at 2:41 K.
A new personal best for DeMamiel and team. Robbie Gaycourse, a Mazda RX-7 with a small block Chevy. Gaycourse had problems this afternoon in qualifying, driving the car off the end of the track when the parachute failed to open. You can see his highly modified and rather inventive scoop under the car, trying to stop air from going beneath. His problems were nothing compared with Tony Chandler's, the dragster dropping the parachute in the burnout, and the Chandler family unable to race in this race.
Most unfortunate for the Chandlers, an RX-7 with a 334 Chev on board. This car is a fast improver here at Triple M Ravenswood Raceway.
A wild start for him, Frank. Hopping all 4 wheels off the ground. It's not the way you want to leave the line. He had that much torque on the start line. It got up on the wheelie bars and really shook him badly in the car. A 9.16 was the result, and that's a long way from his personal best. And it looks like he's in problems with the parachute again. The start line porpoising, giving him a big rattle. And he would have expected this pass to be a lot easier than it has been, and he's off onto the grass and the car sliding to a halt. There'll be no problems with the vehicle, and we'll see him in the next round.
Diane Davenport now, the only lady in this field in the Genie dragster. Steve Flynn up alongside this beautifully prepared BP Commodore.
The dragster's having a few little worries. At the moment they're running a 427 cubic inch Chevy. They're expecting to improve that to 454 cubic inches. The new engine hopefully will solve a lot of the problems that this A dragster is experiencing.
Steve Flynn in the Protec powder coaters Commodore locked away. So too Diane Davenport. The tree counts down. Flynn with a great straight lead gets out of the hole. Davenport's got problems, but Flynn's not worrying about that. He's going to run on and pick up the win and gets there with an 8.72 at 227 Ks.
Well, you could hear Flynn get off the noise a little bit before the end of the track, and that was an easy win for him. A beautiful car, Ford fans' delight. This is Ian Johns. Unfortunately, it has an Oldsmobile V8 engine, 500 cubic inches of pro-stock Olds motor. Now, that's unfortunate for the Ford fans, but Johns is setting new personal best times with his new engine combination. Popular car, popular crew.
Great to see Ian Johns coming to grips with this car. Has got it locked away, takes the revs right up, a great wheels up launch, comes out nice and straight and hard, and Ian Johns is back at the track and doing it in fine style. He's going to get there.
With a 9.59 at 162 Ks, a good half track, but slow.
Ravenswood Raceway. Well, the Nitro Funny Cars presented by Southside Engine Centre. Stewie Bond was in the pits earlier today and caught up with the USA star, Gary Densham.
In Gary Densham's pit, we have an opportunity to speak with our visitor from the USA. Gary Densham is the world's fastest school teacher, and this year achieving your highest result in the NHRA, the National Hot Rod Association's number 9 for 95. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It was a great year for us. The team performed flawlessly. We made it 3 final round appearances in the United States, only topped by Cruz Pedregar, John Force, and Al Hoffman. So I think we did a heck of a job, especially with our budget.
Fantastic. Gary, this is your 10th visit to Australia and your first to Western Australia. What we've seen from the West Coast here is each time you visited over on the East, those guys have gone faster. Do you see something like that happening here with our brand new WA Nitro Funny Car team?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, the Australians are so competitive. The technology is available to them just like it is to me. And, you know, a little bit of competition always brings out the best in everybody.
Oh, big strong burnout coming up from Gary Densham. Look at that smoke. Oh, the teacher's pet car really turning it on here. Alan Green's car. Alan Dobson, the man behind the wheel, and Stewie Bond was in the pits earlier today and caught up with him.
Yeah, really so. They've thrown me right in the deep end here against Gary. There's no doubt about that. Debuting against someone of that professionalism is such an honour. Being a teacher, he's helped us out all the way. As Gary said to us, if we burn in the other lane, well, after that he's going to be out there racing on his own. So he's been making sure, looking after our tail there and making sure we don't set ourselves alight.
USA versus Australia in the Nitro Funny Cars. Gary Densham, Alan Dobson side by side. Densham's out fast. He's got a whole shot on Dobbo. Dobbo fights back around the outside and picks up the win with a 6.45 at 293 Ks.
Dobbo's first win in Nitro Funny Car, and I'm sure the team are going to improve from here. A monster burnout from the Donovan-powered custom line. John Napier is not going to be held back, and his funny car goes out fast half-track, turning the tyres. Napier's car, a JP1 aluminium racing engine, and he's racing against a custom line, Neil Anderson the driver, and a Donovan aluminium racing engine under the bonnet.
This is the compulsory qualifier for Top Comp. Both vehicles away. Oh, the custom line comes out quick, so too does Napier. The custom line's in trouble. John Napier's going to go on for the win and does it with a 7.33 at 290 K.
I think Napier'd be happy to get off the hook then. Anderson having problems as he left the line. John Buchanan and Trevor Morrison to race. Morrison's little altered, one of the most popular cars at the track. The driver is fully exposed and the crowd seem to love that. Buchanan down again from Darwin, racing the AA dragster, another Keith Black powered car.
Well, Trevor Morrison really coming to grips with this car, but look at Buchanan. A big hole shot, gets out quick and runs on with a good pass, a 6.30 at 344 K.
New personal best for the Buchanan team. Clive Hudson driving the Dobbo V funny car. This is a factory production iron-motored funny car. His competition is the Wood brothers and their little Tirana, as squirrely as ever in the burnout.
Barry Wood behind the wheel of the 331 Chevy, a Dobbo V gasser. On board the Clive Hudson car, a 460 Chev big block.
Both cars side by side. This format pits the 4 fastest racers on the night against each other in a 1-through-4 finish. The Wood brothers having problems with the Tirana, and Hudson getting himself a win in this qualifying round, an 8.24 at 267 kilometres an hour.
Australia's fastest XM Ford. Murray O'Connor, the man behind the wheel, and once again, Stu, a big, strong burnout.
A monster burnout. The 351 very popular, as is this big block powered one-tonner.
Brian Dickman, the man behind the wheel, and the crowd love it. A 454 Chev on board the one-tonner. Murray O'Connor running a Ford 357 on the XM Falcon.
Dickman's getting braver and braver with his burnouts, taking them further past the tree. That prepares the car well. You can see the tyres stuck through the car in the air. Dickman having problem, O'Connor having problem. A very, very untidy race from both racers. Dickman going through in front, gets an easy roll-through win at a 9.87. If you watch this from the other end, Frank, it is very, very scary. Both cars out of control on the start line. The reactions of the drivers, the only thing keeping them pointing in the right direction.
Well, the big Ford getting well and truly out of shape. Greg Burns now in shape on the line and has got a solo run. He will love this. Burns in the Wally Cleach Oldsmobile Forenza Funny car.
Burns taking a long time finding reverse in the car. They've been having a problem with the clutch in this machine. A new clutch in the car today, and we can hear the revs come up as he shuts off the fuel. Greg Burns missing his qualifying run.
This is round 2 of Super Comp, and George Zaparovich, everyone's favourite son, is on the track. Georgie has got a solo run. The tree counts down. He comes out, wheels up, launch. It's a big, strong one. And Zaparovich on another good number, Stu.
Well, George knows that he's got the race won. He's got the timers from the start line and half track to tell him the tune-up was right. He simply rolls the car through a long way from his record.
Ian Johns in the big Ford. An EB Falcon.
Someone earlier today said it was a Foldsmobile with the new engine in the car, Frank. 500 cubic inch of Pro Stock Olds. Terry Stacey's alongside him, a double R gas Mazda Rotary. Turbocharged Mazda racing against an Oldsmobile powered Falcon.
Well, Stacey comes out first. Ian Johns a little bit out of shape.
Very close to the tree. That would be very disappointing for the team. They're not going to get their best time. They will get a win with an 8.85, but that could be better if the car left the start line faster.
Robbie Gaycourse, another one of the RX-7s racing here at Triple M Ravenswood Raceway. Up alongside him, Steve Flynn in the VP Commodore.
Flynn's car using a Buick engine and a small block Chevy in the RX-7. Both cars right on their national records. The RX-7 having a few problems with aerodynamics. Gaycourse running off the end of the track earlier today, and Flynn able to keep the car more steady at the
Triple M Ravenswood Raceway, round 1 of Top Comp Eliminator.
Barry Wood and the Wood Brothers Toronto will race Neil Anderson. These guys will go all out right now. They've been seeded in their qualifying rounds. Now the 4 fastest winners will go into the finals. The Wood Brothers team, an outrageous new paint job, not helping the car at all. Couldn't find reverse at half track and will drive it off the end of the track, leaving Neil Anderson with a solo. The Donovan-powered custom line leaves the start line rather sedately. Sounded like he's softened the clutch up on the car, and he drives it through a good, strong pass with an 8.41 at 2.72.
Murray O'Connor in the XM Falcon, a 358 Ford on board this car. Another big, strong burnout from the Ford. The Ford fans on the hill love it.
Clive Hudson's alongside, a very strong burnout from the big block Chevy-powered funny car. This is going to be very interesting from the start line, Frank. The XM Falcon should really have an advantage, but don't discount the funny car. Big block Chevy makes lots of power. O'Connor's driving away from him at half track. The XM's really got it. There's fire under the front of the XM, and he's driven through the top end with the car at full noise, fastest pass ever, and a fire under the bonnet.
John Buchanan, all the way from Darwin. Up alongside him, Brian Dickman. Brian Dickman getting a little bit sideways in the burnout there. This grumpy big block Chevy on board the one-tonner, not wanting to play games today.
Well, a bit concerned about that burnout from Dickman. The track staff are looking underneath his car. They've held him back. It looked like something was leaking. Buchanan goes on a solo. Runs by himself, knows he needs a fast pass, and a 6.45 as the result.
John Napier, a AA funny car. Look at the paintwork on that car, absolutely superb, and a big, strong burnout, Stewie.
A beautifully presented car, in fact, a pair of beautifully presented cars. One works great in the daytime. This one works fantastic at nighttime with the rainbow colours. Trevor Morrison, a small block Chevy with a supercharger in a very short wheelbase altered.
John Napier backing the car up. Gives the crew the thumbs up. The tree counts down. Morrison's out first and got him. Napier starting to fight back, but I think Morrison's going to go on with it. Yes, he is. It's a good pass from him, too. He picks up a win with a 7.31 at 268 Ks.
Greg Byrne and Wally Cleach are having all sorts of problems with their funny car. We saw on the qualifier, they ran a solo pass, couldn't back up after the burnout. They're having all problems in the clutch. They've been working hard to sort it out, and Burns still not confident with the ride. The car shutting down, then starting up again at half track, and he rolled through with an 8.05.
George Saparovich now coming out of the burnout. This is Super Comp round 3. Oh, nice strong burnout from George Saparovich. Another solo run for him. George has had a dream run through to the finals. Comes up with a big wheels up launch, gets out very fast indeed. Looking pretty good, decides to shut the car down and roll it through and gets there with an 882 at 188 Ks.
Ian Johns in the other half of the semi-final. Johns will be racing against Steve Flynn to see who meets Saparovich in the final run.
Flynn in this beautifully prepared BP Commodore, pearl white finish with a blue trim.
Ian Johns' car and crew not looking too shabby either, has been presented a few times with Best Appearing Car and Crew Awards and really does deserve it. A tremendous amount of effort in that car.
Both vehicles locked away. Steve Flynn comes out first. The wheels up launch. Johnsy's got problems. And Flynn's going to move through to the easy finals. And gets there with an 866 at 262K.
The Green Machine is back. Alan Dobson at the wheel of Alan Green's Green Machine Nitro Funny Car. A half-track burnout from the West Australians. The American will not be outdone. Densham pushes it down the track and the crew are bringing them back. Right now they're trying to get these vehicles onto the rubber they have just laid. There's the hottest, stickiest and cleanest part of the track. That's where they'll get their traction. A problem the Nitro Funny Cars face is 5,000 horsepower through the clutch and into the tyres without spinning the tyres on the track. If the clutch is applied too early, the tyres break loose and then the car must be shut down or the driver pays the consequence.
Both vehicles locked away, the tree counts down. Oh, Densham's out fast, so too is Dobbo. Dobbo's got him now at half strip as Densham shuts down. And Dobson wins with a 594 at 394 Ks.
What was telltale there, Frank, was the big cloud of smoke. There's clutch smoke at the moment coming out, clutch dust, and then tyre smoke behind Densham's car. He's off the noise. The header flames go away, and
the all-important finals of Supercom.
George Saparovich, a 300 ZX Nissan, has a 460 cubic inch Pontiac-powered engine. And alongside him, Steve Flynn with a little tiny 345 cubic inch Buick in his Commodore. A big block and a small block, and both cars racing in different classes. There'll be a handicap start.
Both these cars showing immaculate preparation, being backed up now.
Once again, the crew putting the cars on the start line to give the drivers an advantage. Watch the tree count down. The handicap will be there. Flynn gets an easy leave, a very good start for him. He needs to be careful of the power of the Pontiac though. A big cubic inch engine in the blue car, and Saparovich gets the win with an 8.1, a very close finish at over 260 Ks.
We move to Top Comp final, third versus fourth. Greg Burns in the Oldsmobile Forenza, the Dobbo V Funny Car.
Good strong burnout from Byrne, and alongside him we have a small block Chevy powered altered. Trevor Morrison the driver, so it's big cubes versus small cubes once again. The big cubic inch engines have an advantage on paper, but when you look at the cars racing on their handicaps, they should be dead equal across the finish line.
Great to see Trevor Morrison persevering with his vehicle. Got through to the third versus fourth final. That's him on screen. A beautifully prepared car, as too is the Wally Cleach Greg Burns Funny Car.
Oh, Burton with a red light start for the Funny Car. No matter how well he goes down the track this time, he could not win the race. The win in the third versus fourth final goes to Trevor Morrison with a 727 at 286 Ks.
Murray O'Connor, first and second. Murray O'Connor in the XM Falcon running a 358 Ford, and once again Stu a big strong burnout.
The crowd really loved the burnouts. 351 cubic inch engine, been stretched to 355 cubes. The little Cleveland screams and the crowd scream along with it. Alongside him, probably one of the fastest cars we have at the track in regular competition, John Buchanan's Double A dragster ran a 630 at 344 Ks in qualifying, and it's a beautifully prepared car. John down from Darwin once again to race and making it to the final against O'Connor.
Both vehicles being brought forward. The lights tell you that they're nearly locked away. Murray O'Connor's in. John Buchanan's got to roll further forward. Now he's there. The tree will count down.
O'Connor gets to lead first on the handicap. The dragster with a really big chase. He's got a top-end charge that O'Connor will be aware of, and the XM Falcon slows at half-track. O'Connor with a problem. Buchanan gets the win with a 634.
Well, Southside Engine Centre have got their name on a good one, and here it is, the final run for the Nitro Funny Cars, Alan Dobson and Gary Densham from the USA.
Well, Alan Green putting together the Nitro Funny Car. The Green Machine is the name of the team. Alan Dobson, the driver of that car, and this is his third full pass in competition in a Nitro flopper. He's already run a 5.9. Densham's been talking to the crew. Now, right now, Densham is wondering whether he has backed his clutch up enough to get the car down the track. Plagued by tyre smoke and huge horsepower from both cars.
Oh, smoke from Densham's car. The clutch is locked up. Dobson's on a win and gets there with a 5.77.
Watching him from the start line, you can see the header flames, heaps of heat coming out of the engines, a lot of horsepower. Densham's car turns the tyres about 200 feet from the start line and he shuts it down.